all. Thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, you guys, tonight we are continuing on our ABC quilt. This is kind of our free week. And we are starting to assemble the quilt blocks together. We're using the quilt as you go method. And we are hand stitching these. So we're going to continue hand stitching the back of these, and we'll do a few more tonight. So, all right, let's get going. Okay, hello, hello. Thanks again for joining me. So we are going to just jump right back into the back of this. Here is our project so far. We assembled the A, B, and C together. So we have our quilt started. We have already quilted these pieces, and I am assembling them in this order. So we're starting with the ABC, and we got that going on there. So after we get these two stitched, these finished stitched tonight, then I will jump into row number 2, which is D through H. So that will have five in. So I'm going to just get started on this right away. So thanks again for joining me. We were about 3/4 of the way hand stitching this guy, and we are going to just finish that up tonight. I do have the iron on because we need to iron over the edge. We need to like do this other one. We haven't pressed this edge over yet, so that'll be our next one. But I'm going to just do it as we like right before I'm ready to stitch it, because that will it's just gonna unfold. I don't want like pins everywhere, so we'll just leave them undone until we're ready to stitch the backs. Ooh, Caitlin says stitching my raven. We're gonna have to stop. My sister is about to have her baby. Oh, nice. So my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, had her baby last night. So there's a new baby boy Lincoln in the family. So that was very exciting. Got a couple photos and a little video, and it's like the cutest little baby. Haven't heard anything from them to like past this morning, but I'm guessing they're just like full sleeping all day today. They had a long, long day yesterday. Hey Donna, I am working on a quilt. So this is an embroidered quilt, and we're just starting it, the quilting part of it, and we're doing it quilt as you go, which means we've already pre-quilted all of the blocks. We're not actually done with the blocks, but we're quilting them. So here's the back. We got the front and everything going already. And with the quilt as you go process, you quilt your blocks first and then assemble them with some binding pieces. And we started that process last night. So this one has the raw edges still. We have this piece that we're going to use to cover up those raw edges. This one we have already covered up, and we're hand stitching it down. So this is our first step in the quilt as you go process of assembling this quilt. So we are stitching the letters of the alphabet with cute little animals on it. And we work on it. We embroider a letter the first week of the month, and we embroider another letter the second week of the month. So we've been working on this for months already. And next week, Monday, this coming Monday, we start the letter Q. So October will be Q and R. Which will be kind of fun because they have like a little mask going, a little raccoon mask. So that fits for Halloween, I think. That's fun. Oh, thanks, Adrian. Adrian says, congrats, Auntie. Yep, it's my first time being an aunt, so that's very exciting. Linda says, Auntie Alyssa. Fun. I'm hoping everyone's doing well. They were well last night or this morning, but I'm sure they're having a busy day. All right, got a few more stitches on this guy. How much of the kit of all the letters? Oh, each of the letters are separate, and we have them as PDFs and as iron-on transfers, so we don't actually have like a full kit for the letters. These are actually designs that I did like probably over 10 years ago now, and I've been doing these lives for years and years, every night here, and we've never stitched this whole alphabet, which is bizarre because this is like kind of what we started my company Penguin and Fish with was this alphabet, and we've done like a few letters here and there, but we've never like sat down and stitched the whole thing live. So that's kind of like this year's main project. So we're more than halfway through stitching all the letters, and we'll probably be done with the quilt late spring, early summer in 2023, which is crazy. Like it amazes me that I take on these long projects. Like these are marathon projects, and I'm definitely more of a let's get that quick win sort of project. But I don't know, something relaxing about doing these long projects here in the evenings. Oh shoot! Of course I pull the thread out of the needle on the last stitch before tying a knot. Ugh, and I gotta trim the end. Too fuzzy. There we go. All right, so we're gonna hand stitch that other binding and or that other like sashing piece on the back here next. So more hand stitching for tonight yet. I'm gonna just tie a little knot here, and then I got the rest of the pieces that I cut out here. So I just had a bunch of random little bits of fabric, and I just cut them all in 1-inch strips, but I never like cross cut them to the right size. And some are actually short. So I might actually tonight combine some of those short pieces together so that we're like prepped to do other colors. I think all the purple pieces and red pieces are long enough, but I think all the green ones are a hair short. So those are the ones that I kind of want to assemble together. And I might mix the colors up because ultimately we're going to have these long stripes going this way. And I don't know, like obviously I'm not going to have strips that are long enough if I'm just like using these little guys here. So I kind of want to like randomly sew them all together to make like these sort of like random long strips that are all different colors. So I'm thinking I want that same feel for these stashing pieces in the rows instead of like them all like perfectly one color. So I think I want to maybe like take some of these greens, which are too short, and like stick some of these longer pieces with, and then we'd have like some combined colored ones with these stashing pieces, and because we're gonna have a lot of those with the long pieces when we sew the rows together later. That'll be a while till we're that far. Oh, I just stuck the needle in here, but where did I put it? Right here. I'm gonna stick it out the side so I can grab it easy. All right, so that first part's done. So we have the C to the B, and the back pieces on. So we've covered up our raw edge on the back. So the next one we did the B to the C. We got to do the A to the B, and that one it still has our raw edge here. So this is where I need to press this over first, and then we need to press the raw edge over to kind of get our little binding piece in place. And I want to pin that right away, and then we'll stitch that down. So I think I got the iron going yet. Let's get the ironing board here. Oh, Tracy says there's another cute quilt along going on with with a Krista Watson pattern. We've done a quilt of hers here live a few years ago. The triangle. Wait, no, that's not what it's called. The chevron, the charming chevron quilt. We did one of her patterns and they're really fun. She like has like really nice, simple but like really pretty quilt designs. They're nice. I'll have to check that out. I'll check out her quilt along. But yeah, she's great. All right, there's the first little bit. So I think let's just turn this way. I think that was a little bit easier for me yesterday. I'm gonna just tuck. Ooh, did I get that all messed up? We're fine. So I'm gonna tuck this under. We'll just tuck it under a little bit. So I'm using that seam that we sewed the front piece on, that so we got like a nice line of a seam here. I'm using that as my guide because I want this to kind of be just on the outside of that because I want to cover up that line. Ugh, I guess let's grab this ruler. Let's. Oh, Tracy says it's an American patchwork and quilting thing. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. So American Patchwork and Quilting is doing a Krista Watson pattern. Is that kind of what we're seeing here? That seems like it would make sense. Oh, I suppose I should let's just pin this right away, then it won't come apart while I press the rest. Hard to go through all these layers of fabric. There. Okay, good enough. So with the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt, we're also doing that quilt as you go a little bit differently though. We don't have, we've like, that one we like pre-made a wider piece and folded it in half and sew that in, so we don't have like this raw edge here that we have to deal with, but we do have to make that strip like make it bigger and fold it in half. I think I like this better. I like that I can cut these pieces the exact same size as the front, and it's not that hard to just tuck these under right now. I think this is faster than making whole other strips, and it uses less fabric too, because they're thinner. So I think I like this way of doing the quilt as you go a little bit better than how we're doing it for the Splendid Sampler. So I'm glad we tried something else for this, just to give it try a different way of doing it. This is only the second time I've done this quilt as you go process, and then the first time is unfinished still. We're still working on that Splendid Sampler quilt. Easy to grab. Oh, they have the quilt alongs on Facebook. Okay, I'll check that out. The Krista Watson and American Patchwork and Quilting stitch along. That sounds neat. I bet you it's cute. All right. Okay. All right, we're all pinned up and ready to stitch this next little binding strip on here. So let's get more thread here. Oh, I'll hold this bottom one in the way. I'm just gonna fold that up. Let's get this guy out of the way. Okay, thread right here, and my needle. Ready as I go. Yeah, so if we can finish stitching this and prep some of those other strips today, I would be fine with getting that far. And then tomorrow's Friday. Well, if we have all those pieces prepped and we're done with this stitching Friday, we could probably literally assemble A or D through H, and maybe even start hand stitching them as well. That would be kind of awesome. We'd have a whole nother row, like put together, like connected to each other, and then we'd be starting on the stitching that down. That would be awesome. I mean, that's a way further place that I thought we'd be just in these 3 days that we're kind of working on this before jumping back into the embroidery of it all. That's exciting. We're like a whole nother step done with this quilt, or like a whole nother step started. It always feels good. All right, let's put this up, get comfortable. All right, I'm gonna start kind of on the outside here again. There we go. I'm gonna go around in that spot, same spot again. I kind of forgot to do that on the last one, but I think it's fine. There we go. Okay, now we can just go down the row. I'm gonna take this pin out right away. I think I want to put these pins right back. Oops, right back in the container right away because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose them somewhere. Table's getting messy again, and I don't want it to disappear on us. So yeah, let me show you Monday's project though. So we're gonna be working. October we'll be working on the quail and the raccoon there. So first the quail and the raccoon. So that's October's project. So we'll be starting to stitch the quail on Monday. Ooh, you guys, and we do have our kit sale going on through today. So it's the last time to snag our embroidery kits for 40% off. It's just kind of like whatever's left in there. We sold out of a bunch of designs, but there are still a few left for the 40% off, and that's like through tonight. Like I think it turns off like tomorrow morning. So good time to catch some of our kits cheaper. We are changing all our kits over to have different fabric starting October. So these kits for the sale are all on our older fabric, which is actually the same fabric that we're using for this quilt. So it's nice still. We're just changing it up. The new ones, the lines are going to be nice and dark, and it'll be white fabric. So right now it's still on the unbleached fabric. But yeah, so through tonight, and any orders made during this live get our live special, which is if you order $20 or more in the shop, I will throw in a free mystery gift to the order. You don't have to put a mystery gift in your cart or anything. I will just check the timestamp of when it was ordered and plop it in. So through this live in about like 15 minutes after. So. Oh yeah, Linda says I have to say I love your backing fabric, and it's too bad it's not available for purchase. Yeah, so this backing fabric, it's like it's a sort of flannel, like it's kind of like a cotton flannel. But it was never produced. So actually everything, like all of the fabric I'm using is from when I was designing fabric. It was for my first fabric collection, which was based on this ABC quilt. So, same animals are in here. So these are the strips are actually from the sample fabric. So it has like a different feel, like it's kind of like a stiff cotton because it was just like the test fabric before they printed it on the like nice soft fabric. So it's just to check the colors and the alignment and that sort of stuff. So it's weird and scrappy in that way. And when I was cleaning up all my craft stuff, I found them. And I'm like, these scraps for this would work well for this ABC quilt. So I just cut what I had into 1-inch strips. And but yeah, so this flannel, they were planning with that first collection to do a couple colorways of this flannel, but the company I was working with, that I was licensing the designs to, they didn't end up going through with it. I don't think they liked the quality or something from the manufacturer, so they just didn't end up not printing it. So this is, I think, the sample fabric. I think I got like a bolt. I don't know. They got like a bolt sample. I don't know. That seems weird, but anywho, somehow I got like a bolt of this yellow fabric. The animals are a little, like, they don't show up great, like perfect or anything. I think maybe that's why they decided not to print it. I don't know. But I haven't done anything with it yet, and I'm like, you know what? The back of this quilt would be a great time to use it. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not for sale. This is another scrappy, theoretically, like, this is all scrap fabric, even though it is like a lot of, nice big fabric. But I've been diligently going through all my scraps of fabric and try not to buy anything else. But yeah, I do kind of like it. It is got that flannelly feel to it. There was supposed to be this colorway, which is this like pretty like banana-y baby yellow, and then like a green, like a pretty green for the background color, but never happened. I don't know. I've been thinking about trying to team up with a fabric place again, though. That was fun when we did that. It was a ton of work, but it was neat to have stuff on fabric. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to start pitching designs again sometime. Yeah, if there's any one of our kits or anything like that, any of our designs that you think would be cool, like fleshed out as a whole fabric collection, let me know. Maybe I can give that a try and start pitching it. That'd be fun. All right, we're a little over halfway through this guy. Gosh, when we do the whole rows, we're gonna have to stitch like when we stitch the rows together. This will be the same process, but we'll have to like stitch a whole row, which is way longer than um, just one of these blocks. But that's okay. We'll get into it. I like the hand stitching. This feels relaxing. So I don't mind, at least not yet. There. But yeah, so let's kind of assess these guys when I'm done here and try and sew a bunch of those together and see where we get for you know, having some greens like mixed up in this. Like I think I can do a green one to a red to a green and then like cut it right in the middle of the red, and then I'd have like two pieces that are probably long enough, and you know the red and green would blend together, and then do like the same thing for some purples, and then I have like a little mix of things going, which I think would be nice. So not all of them would be solid on the front, at least they would be mixed up. Oops, stabbed myself. But this is exciting. I'm glad we have like this our first kind of row started here. Oh yes, Robin, there's baby news. I think so Lincoln was born, the new baby at during our live. So we found out at around like 11 p.m. last night. Um but so they sent a photo around 11, and he was born at like 9:02, I think. So right in the middle of our live, which is funny. But yeah, so cute. Heard from them this morning. They shot a little video of him, and it was just so cute. And then I think I mean, like, they're probably sleeping or busy all day. So I haven't heard from them yet. Gina's asking, are you gonna do cornerstones? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna do like one long strip across. So what cornerstones are is if we would have done like in the middle, like right where all the four corners meet, if we did like a tiny little square, uh, like at each of those little squares are called cornerstones. So we are doing that with the Splendid Sampler too. In this case, I think I'm gonna just do a one long strip going all the way across and just like not mess with any of that, not mess with the cornerstones. But that's another reason, like doing these short strips, like we're gonna have to sew a whole pile of them together to get these long strips. And actually, I might not need to do that because I think I do have actually more fabric in here. I'll have to check, but let's pretend I don't. That's why I want to well, those will be all assembled, so they're not gonna be, like, perfectly lined up with anything, the colors, And that's why I want to like mimic that in these stashing pieces with this green. The greens that are too short, like sewing a little bit of red to them, so that like some of the rows would be kind of like that. So like a little mixture. So no, I'm not gonna do cornerstones. I was thinking about that last night, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. It'll be easier just doing random strips. Thank you, Cassie. I'm excited. I haven't been in an aunt before, so. Right. Flip this open. Boop. Okay. Put 1.5 inches here yet. Then I'm gonna zoom you guys out again, so don't get car sick. Motion sickness. This is I like the hand stitching. I like the look of it, and when you machine stitch, you get like that sewn line that you can see, which is fine too. But I enjoy hand stitching, so might as well do it this way anyway. And I didn't measure these strips. All I did was cut a bunch of them 1 inch wide. Like 1 inch wide is the only thing I cut. So some were longer than the 8.5 inches I need them. So that's why these ends are on here. Normally you wouldn't have those. You would cut this to the right size to begin with. But I figured, not hurting me, them hanging out there for a little. So I'm like, who cares? We'll deal with those later. I just have to trim them off. That's all. How we doing? Almost 9. So yeah, so we'll be here for about another half hour. When are we going to see them? I don't know yet, but hopefully soon. We were thinking like early October still, which is like now almost. I don't know. We will figure that out. Stitch. Go around that spot one more time, and then I'll tie it in a knot. I was just having deja vu here for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we were still working on. I'm like, didn't I just do this, tie this knot at the end? But I forgot that we we stitched this other one tonight. We didn't finish that last night. So I guess that went pretty quick. All right, let's tie a little knot here. All right. Good. I'm going to stick that needle back in Zeb and get him out of the way. I just don't want to accidentally break him. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you guys out here again, so bear with me. There we go. All right, so here we have the first 3 sewn together. It's all the start of our quilt here. I love it so much. So why we only have 3 is that our design, the first row, like the ABC, the first row has the 2 corners are not letters. So like we have a space and then ABC and then another space. So to make the 5. And that's the same at the bottom. We have like space XYZ space. And then all the other rows are rows of 5. That's how like 26 letters sort of balanced out. So all right. So let's take a look at those other, like how I've been talking about those other stashing pieces, and maybe sew a few of them together here to just construct a few more stashing pieces for us, and then we can get going on the next row. Might as well. We could actually do, not tonight, but we could actually do 2 more rows, D through H and then I through M, because we're done with all those letters. We are not done with N through R, although by the end of this month, by the end of 2 weeks from now, we should be pretty close to ready. And I guess we haven't actually quilted our letter P or O yet. Those are cute, the pig and the owl. But all the other ones before this we are quilted. So we gotta do that. It's fun quilting these smaller pieces though, and then assembling them. I'm like really kind of digging this quilt as you go process because we're not gonna have to. We're gonna be done when we're done assembling this. So we don't have to have like our top of the quilt that we have to assemble with the back, and we're not having to deal with big pieces at all through this whole project, except for I suppose when we start putting the rows together. Um, but yeah, I'm liking this process, especially for like a little home machine in my tiny little area here. So cool, it's looking great. I think I'll just set that aside. All right, let's take a look at. I just grabbed all the rest of the ones that we cut to the 1 inch wides, and I think they were all good except for the greens looked not long enough. So all these reds and purples, I'm just gonna kind of go through those. Yeah, like all of these seemed fine, and then it was all these greens. So I do want to combine some of these greens. I don't know where I really got this and why the greens are shorter, but I'm recycling stuff I had. So that's ooh, this red looks maybe short. Maybe we'll combine that with one of these. I wonder if this is too short for one of these. Ugh, kind of. Okay, so these red stripies. I wonder if the other ones are this long. Oh yeah, all these red stripies are a hair short, so let's have a short pile and a fine pile. I think all these greens are short. I think these were, like I said, like other samples from the original printer. So like not the real fabric, just the samples. And yeah, look how crooked this one is. Yeah, like twisted almost. Um, and I think I might have for like a trade show had these displayed on a clipboard, and I think the greens, I had them like shorter and longer, and I think the greens maybe were shorter, one of the shorter bits, and that's why. Oh, what's this? That's not gonna work. I think maybe that's why they are shorter. Oh, here's. Oh gosh, this one's short. These feel too short. Yeah, these stripies. Are these stripies long enough? Not really. Okay, so we actually have a lot to combine here. That's more than I thought. So all these stripes, I think, are no good, but these ones are better. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go through this again. I think I'll go through it quickly. Little prep work tonight. All those short. So, gosh, I'm wondering if I should just sew like a pile of these together, just so I have like long strips, and then just start cross cutting them. That would allow them to be kind of random because there's more short ones than I thought there were. So we can keep these as like our long pieces, and then just like sew a pile of these together, and then just cross cut them. I think that's probably the fastest way of doing that. Oh, get a little sewing done tonight. Yeah, those ones are just long enough. So it looks like it's pretty similar by um, design. So like all of these ones are long enough. Yeah, okay. So basically anything that's striped or green has to go into like our combo pile. These guys are long. Okay. Yeah, that's what we got going on here. Okay, wow. So there's a lot more to combine than I thought, and I think some are hiding in here yet. So yeah, really it's only these animal red ones and then these purple grassy ones that are long enough. The rest need to be mixed up and assembled. So that's fine. Let's do it. Purple. So we'll have like a pile of these strips that we'll put in every once in a while, and then we'll put like a full length one every once in a while. Or we'll just be completely random. I could just like pick strips from the bin once we have a bunch of them made. This is what you get when you use scrap fabric, though. Sometimes you end up having to combine stuff and manufacture some things that you didn't have all perfectly cut versus cutting from like nice clean fabric, where you can, just cut from the bolt all nice. Catherine's saying you could put the background fabric on the 4 squares on the back and front. They coordinate everything. Background. Sorry, you could put the. I'm not quite understanding. You could put the background fabric on the 4 squares on the back and front. Oh! I get what you're saying, Catherine. I could put the background fabric on these 4 squares, and then it would, like the corner squares here, and then it would coordinate. That's a good idea. That sounds like a plan to me. And then we can like practice, do like fun quilting and stuff with them yet. Yeah, I'll have to see. Um, I'll have to do a count of like how much fabric we have for the back, because I think we just like I'm not sure we counted for cutting. I think we just cut a bunch and we're like, first time to figure it out as we go. um, yeah, so I think I'm just gonna kind of floof these up and grab like different ones and just start sewing, and we'll start combining them. And I think we'll just cut like one super long strip here, and then maybe fold it in half a bunch of times, and then just kind of roughly cut them. I'm not going to cut them to that perfect 8.5 inches. I don't think we'll just like kind of roughly cut them so they're kind of like these, because like I don't want to do real measuring and real math. Let's just kind of um, cut it a little bit. I like having a little extra on the ends, because then if my fabric moves a little bit here, I got that little extra. All right, so let's just do that. Let's just have the stack near me here and sew on the sewing machine. All right, we'll just cruise through this. So I'm gonna try and grab. Oop, you were in the wrong stack, buddy. I'm just gonna try and grab different colors, so I'm not matching color to color. And I have selvages and stuff here. No, I'm not gonna cut them first. But like these have the pinking sheer selvages, and these actually have large selvages. I'm gonna try and sew so I don't have those selvages, but that's gonna make my edges bigger, so I might have to trim those down later, and we'll have to press all this. Ugh, boo, but whatever. That's what I get for doing it this way, I suppose. I could do that thing where I just keep connecting to the one before. I'm doing that for sure. So let's bend this back and just connect to another one, and I'm not even lining it up perfectly, because I'm gonna try and get that selvage out of the way. Oh, oh yeah, these green ones. I'm like, this is a grass one, but these green ones are too short. That's right. Flip that back, grab another one. Avoid the selvage. Yeah, I'll just trim these all down when we're done. Ooh, this is a good way to do it, though. I'm gonna have like a long little thing, and they're gonna all be assembled and together. That's gonna work great. I'm not assembling this at an angle. A lot of times when you do like these sashing pieces, you want to like connect them like this, so that when you fold it, you got kind of like that angle there, and then it disperses like the seam, so the seam isn't all in one spot. It's kind of like dispersed a little bit, but I didn't really want that look for this, because that gives you like these diagonal looks, and I kind of like just the straight on look. Oh, that's a good point. Arlene says you could also sew the shorter ones to make the strips for the crossroads. So I do want to do that. So I want some of these vertical sashing pieces to. Oh yeah, so maybe I should just assemble these two with these. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I could do that. I could just use these long ones that are long enough exclusively on these, and these could just be the long strips. but I only have the 2 colors. I think I wanted a little bit more mixed than that. How many do we even need in here? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 24. Yeah, I don't even think I have 24 in here. So, all right. So we're gonna just, I think I'm gonna just stick to what I'm doing. We'll probably have to cut some more for, oh wait, so maybe, yeah, maybe these should be for the long strips too, you're right. So maybe instead of, but I do still want some for the vertical strips, just not all of them. So maybe I should, um, not cut these all at once, just have like a few here and there. Maybe I should actually just count these. I need 24 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I need like 5 more at least. Well, 5 more. Um, but now I'm thinking I should take some of these, like just grab a stack of these and blend them in here, and then cut what I need from here, and then the rest can be used for long strips. Oh, Gina, you're right. The back too. We need enough for the back. Okay, you're right. So we need 48 of them. Blah. Okay, so I need 5 more to make the front, and then geez, a whole pile for the back. All right, so I'm gonna just leave this pile unaffected and let them be, because we'll need all of them, and then we'll just cut these in all long strips, or we'll sew it in one long strip, and then I'll just cut, 10 or so from here and call it a day, and we'll like move those in, and then whenever I need a little bit more, maybe I'll cut a couple more off, and then maybe we'll at least have a couple long strips left from sewing all these. If not, I do have more fabric that we could kind of blend in with this. So it'll be like a see what we got as we go sort of thing, maybe. But all right, I think I'm gonna just stick to sewing these guys together for now and not sew these with them. And we'll pepper them into the front and back. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see where this goes. But because I do think we'll need more um for those long strips, because we're gonna need that for the back too. We're gonna need the long strips for the back. Yeah, we're gonna end up needing more fabric. That's what's gonna happen. And I think I have more of all this fabric, so I think we can easily just cut. I think it's bigger though. I think I'm using the scrappy stuff first, so I think we have more like yardage of this stuff. So I could cut like a couple long ones and then just kind of chop it up so it has the same feel. Maybe we do something like that ultimately. We're definitely figuring this out as we making like decisions like that as we go, which is kind of fun. So we'll just see. This will get us to the next step at least. Yeah, so we got like 15 minutes here. I think I'm just gonna just cut, or let's just sew whatever we can sew in that 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do like 10 more minutes of sewing, and then we can trim these up. We gotta actually press them and stuff first too, which sucks. Um, but we could actually, this would probably be enough to like keep going with this for a little, enough to at least keep going for tomorrow. So so we can just jump into the dog, or the D through, what is it? D through H tomorrow. Yeah, okay, good enough. This is a slow motion enough project that we can adjust and cut more fabric and all that as we go, I think. As long as kind of starting with the idea of like these will be blended together a little bit. Um, long as we give that impression, I think we'll be good. Maybe we'll throw one of these other ones. We'll see how it goes. But regardless, it's kind of fun sewing these strips together. Make sure the iron stays on because we'll press the pile of these. Man, that would have been that would have been a bummer to forget all of the back pieces. Like cut a hole. We cut like the exact amount we needed and then realized we needed back ones. That would have been unpleasant. Happy to be using up all these scraps. You guys, I have so many fabric scraps. I just kind of just save them all. I could do thousands of little projects like this, I feel like. Sewing strips together, sewing little squares together. And I've come to the conclusion, I'm like, I wonder if like it's enjoyable. Like I love using the scraps and all that, but then sometimes I'm like, am I just being obsessive, like keeping all these scraps? And I don't know, would it be easier just to get rid of them somehow? Would that feel more like I finished a project? Like am I actually enjoying using them all up, or am I just like being obsessive with it? But I don't know. Till I truly decide that, I'm gonna keep making stuff out of it. I always like the finished projects when I'm done with like these projects that are all like scrappy. They all like I just love them all. But man, I feel like I'm still accumulating scraps and fabric without acquiring any more fabric. So I don't know. Like my fabric is just exploding into more scraps somehow. I don't understand. All right, I'm gonna sew these for 2 more minutes. Then we'll separate this from the machine and just kind of see where we're sitting, and then these rest of these we'll just save for another time. See where we're at, all that. So we'll trim these off because they're all like connected, all fun. Like look at this, we got like this whole like garland going. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh my god, this would be a fun thing to just do with scraps. Just like chain piece them like this and just like literally have it be garland. Dang, that'd be cute. But yeah, we have to trim the ends because they got those weird selvages and stuff on. So there's a lot of like little assembly on this. Maybe I should sew one more and then we'll stop. Okay, let me get that leader from the beginning and use that to take this off. Ooh, but we can do our fun way of separating these. All right, here, here's another guy. I'm gonna try and keep these separate. Like these are the pieces that are long enough, and then these are the ones that need to be assembled in some way. But okay, so we gotta separate all these. Actually, you know what? While they're still connected, it might be easier to cut these selvages off. Actually, no, that's not going to be easier. All right. So we have to cut all these little pieces. So we could do it with the scissors. We've done that before, but there's that little trick where you can use a. Let's see, I do have it here. Use a. What are these called? A seam ripper. And we can stick it in the top of our thread, our spool of thread here. So we've like constructed this new contraption. We can just let that sit here. It's got that weird. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's got some weird, like a finger grip on. Oh, there we go. And now that's sticking straight up. I can just kind of go down the row and trim these all off. So it speeds up this process, and it's just fun. So there, now we're like separating our garland, so it's the long the long strands. Ugh, this really is fun doing it this way. Don't stab yourself though. I have done that before doing this. Ooh, I'm all twisted up here. What's going on? There we go. But yeah, so that's the seam ripper plus floss or thread spool trick to separating all your like chain pieced guys. Which if you have like a little small project, like who cares? But like when you have all these like a ton of things to all put together like this, it is handy and fun. Boop and boop. And let's not stab myself. Let's take that guy right away. Ooh, the cover's broken. Okay. Now I suppose. Oh, I was gonna say we should iron them, but let's trim these edges off quick. So I'm just kind of cutting these to a 1/4 inch, like that one with the pinking shoes. We didn't really need to do, but some of these ones with the big selvage edge, I kind of don't want. Especially these fuzzy ones, I don't want to deal with that. So we're gonna just trim all these. Just let them fall in my lap. So some assembly required when you're doing scrappy. Ooh, these seams are kind of coming out. I guess I didn't like back tack these at all. Um, but they'll be sewn into the quilt. So as long as I don't pull on these too much, I think they won't fall apart before we sew them into the quilt. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, because this guy's almost like a 1/4 inch pulled out already. We'll see how it goes. It's also almost the end of the embroidery of the month. So our embroidery of the month is the raven this month. It'll be switching over to the white fabric in October. So if you want it on the muslin, the unbleached, you'll have to get it during the month of September yet. And during the month of September, it also comes with that cute raven sticker for free. That's the embroidery of the month gift for the month. Because September is almost over, which is crazy town. Man, it jumped right into fall though here. Right into fall. The weather did not wait. The sun's still warm, but like it's gotten chillier out there. Okay, I think I'm only gonna press these to one side. I'm not gonna press them open. I think normally you would press strips like this open, but I feel like that's gonna pull these seams apart a little bit more, and it really is adding tons of bulk. I don't think it's gonna be so much of an issue that I gotta like press these open. I know some people swear by pressing things open. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's like so much more pressing. All right, hang up that scissors. Get these guys up here again, and let's just start pressing. We'll press to one side first. I think we'll stand and do this. Oh yeah, September went by. Cassie says September went by so fast. Oh, hand stitching open. Open would be easier. Hand stitching open. What do you mean by hand stitching, Catherine? Oh, like Oh, like when we're at the actual hand stitching part, we do it open. Well, sometimes we'll be sewing it though on the front, so I think we do have to decide now. Let's just do it open. Oh, hand stitching it when it's open because you're only going through 2 layers instead of the 3 layers would be easier. Okay, I'm totally understanding you. A little slow tonight. Yep, fine. Let's just press them open as we go. Good idea. All right, so I think we'll actually cut these tomorrow. Um, but we got another little step done. Another little step of the process. Go forward and back. All right. I'm a little afraid of these like falling apart. But at worst, we can add when we hand stitch it, we can add a couple just to it. But yeah, so the strips that will do the rows together will be just like a long strip of basically this, which will be pretty cute, I think. Assuming I have more of this, I'm gonna have to go through the rest of my fabric because these little strips are definitely not enough for like what I got sitting here for the front and back and the rows and all of it. Theoretically, we'll need to do this like for the border too. I haven't done a border with Quilt as you go yet, so we either have to not do a border and just have it be like, yeah, really not do a border. It'd almost be like we just put a binding on and don't have a border, or we have to like freaking make the border like a long border and quilt it all before attaching it to the rest of the quilt because the rest of the quilt will be quilted already. So I don't know. That's kind of that'd be kind of goofy. We'd be quilting like these big skinny strips. Haven't thought that far ahead yet. Okay. All right. And we got, oh gosh, I hope we're over halfway with this. All these little details that I forget. Like, oh yeah, pressing takes a while. All of that. But I'm glad we're kind of like thinking this through now. Um, so we'll have like some of these combo strips like ready and we'll know like, okay, that's the look for later. So when we do get more fabric, we can kind of recreate this a little bit. And I'm still using scraps, which makes me feel like I'm slow motion recycling here. And I always I always like that feeling of using up these scrappies. This is not fun though. I do not like pressing. I don't know what it is. It's I think it's because it's the and I've said this before, but I think it's because it's the step that I always forget exists. So when I realize, oh crap, I gotta do all the pressing, the time frame switches in my head, right? I guess it's one of those assumption things. I shouldn't assume things. Just go with it. Shouldn't assume a time frame in my head. I think these are gonna be cute all together. Well, I got a hand stitch today. I got to sew on the sewing machine. I gotta combine all these cute little fabrics together. That's a successful craft session, I would say. Oh, Catherine says, yes, you make the border and attach like the blocks. Okay, interesting. So when we get that far, we'll have to decide, or, almost that far, we'll have to just decide what we want to do for the border. So we could actually like finish this before making the border, and then we could just like take a look at it and be like, do we want a border? Should we just like bind it where it lies? Or okay, so we do want a border. How wide should that be? Should it be all the same fabric? Should we like patchwork it together somehow? And then and then those borders, like the long sides and the long tops, will need the backing fabric and the batting to be that size too. And then we'll be like doing this little squiggly thin but long like quilting thing, which actually would be kind of fun too. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how we feel when we get that far with this quilt. If it's already like mid summer and we're still working on this and we're just like, no, we gotta get it done, then maybe we'll ditch the border. But I do kind of think that would be fun doing like these borders, like quilting like these little things. That's gotta be a little bit of a challenge though too, because like what if it's not perfectly straight? Like what if it like twists and stuff a little bit because it's just long and skinny? I don't know. I'm thinking there's some challenges that I don't know about yet with that. All right, that's our last one. So I'm using that cordless iron, and that was all one pass. I did not have to heat that up this entire time, so that's pretty cool. All right, there we go. Our long strip. So this will. Ooh, let's see what it looks like. Let's get this guy out of the way. Ugh, I'm already like being aggressive with it. I just want to see what it looks like next to a big row like this, just so we can get a little impression of these together, like the scrappy look of it. Cute. See, this is what I like, that not all the pieces like line up, and then if we have some of these for this way too, where it's not all perfectly the same strip. I think that'll give this a whole nice patchworky type feel with just these little like slivers of the sashing in between. So yeah, I like that look. I think that'll be fun. And then every once in a while we have like these full ones. And maybe I should have sewn a couple of these in, the long ones, because those could end up being, oh wait, the long ones are up there, but those could end up being like long enough to cover a piece this way too. Um, but I think we're fine. I like this. We got a strip going. So tomorrow we will cut a few of these up, and then we'll start the D through, what was it? D through H. So what are those ones? So this is row number 2. We'll have H, G. Oh, our little giraffe, our little hand quilted giraffe. The F for fox. The elephant. Oh, this is gonna be a cute row, and then the D for dog. This is gonna be a cute row. So that'd be great if we could assemble that row tomorrow. Stick it on top here with all the pieces, the fronts, the backs, everything, and even like starting to hand stitch it tomorrow would be really awesome. So great. All right, you guys. So I think we'll call it there tonight. So thanks again for joining me. Do check out that 40% off sale that will go through the end of the night tonight, and for the kits, and then mystery gift. So order $20 or more for another 15 minutes or so, and I will throw in that free mystery gift. So thanks again, everyone. This is fun. I'm really liking this, that we're like actually assembling this quilt now. I feel like we've moved along to that next step. Even though we're still in the first steps, we're still embroidering and everything still. It's nice to be, part of it's at this stage. It's kind of fun. So, all right, have a lovely evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So, good night. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the order, Nate. I appreciate that so much. Hey, TikTok. I'm just finishing up here on. Hold on. Finishing up on. There we go, on Facebook and YouTube.